All right. So Ed Egilinsky, Managing Director, Head of Sales and Distribution and Alternatives for Direxion Investments. Good morning. How are you doing here today?
Good. How are you? I apologize if the video is not as clear. I'm on my iPhone, so we had a little bit of technical issues here, but the March Madness continues in the morning here.
There's madness anywhere you look, but isn't technology great? Even when you have trouble, your phone or mini computer, as they call it, can bail you out. Ed, we're grateful to have you here. I know you're a busy guy. So first of all, tell everyone what it is, who are you, and what it is that you do.
Sure. I've been at Direxion 13 years. We're a leading provider of trading tools, leverage and inverse ETFs for active traders. I know a lot of your viewers on the show may utilize some of our products, whether their view is bullish or bearish. We have different leverage points ranging from triple leverage, bull or bear, down to inverse 1x bear.
Okay, awesome. We absolutely do use these ETFs all the time. Full disclosure here, some of us occasionally will trade the iShares. So what I would like from you here today is tell us why we should use your products instead. One of my first questions that I want to go over here with you, what kind of flows are you seeing into some of these different funds?
Well, let me just, quantify what you just said. There's a major difference between iShares or any non-leveraged ETF exposure versus our leverage and inverse ETF exposure. I can't speak for iShares, but those non-leveraged ETFs, they might have volatility to them depending on what benchmark it's tracking, but those are more asset allocation possibly than our vehicles. Our vehicles are designed for short-term active trading. You got to be staring at the screen. You want to express a short-term view. That's what our vehicles should be used for. So these are not buy and hold vehicles, our leverage and inverse ETFs. I just want to quantify that.
I absolutely love that you said that, because SOXL and SOXS have been some of the biggest or the most frequent ETFs that we have played. And Ed, I swear I've pounded the table until I'm blue in the face that these are not investment vehicles and these are designed to be used in short term for trading. So the fact that you are here to confirm that for me is really, really the chef's kiss.
No, not a problem at all. When we are seeing flows right now, it's more of a buy the dip mentality for short-term traders. So you mentioned SOXL, the semiconductors, definitely top of mind. The broader tech sector as well. S&P, right now it's a little bit out of that correction territory. The Nasdaq's still in there, and also Tesla bull as well. So most of the flows we're seeing recently are to the bull funds, excluding China. China has really separated itself this year. Who knows if it'll last, but it separated itself in a positive way from the U.S. market. So we're seeing some outflows in our bull China funds, but seeing inflows, people thinking maybe China's gotten too extended too far too fast. So we've seen inflows in our triple leverage bear. Some of you might be familiar with FXI, the FTSE China 50. So our Yang is a triple leverage bear on that ETF and index.
And of course, yin is the inverse of that. And those we also look at and trade here quite a bit. Okay, that's really good information on some of those China ETFs as well. You can put that in your back pocket there. The other thing that I had a question for you, obviously I started by talking about the FOMC meeting. These are always on watch whenever they come up. What ETFs get traction around those Fed meetings? What are your favorite targets? What are you seeing out there?
Well, it's interesting, interest rates have rallied this year for the most part. This month, you started to see a little bit of an uptick in interest rates until, the Fed meeting yesterday. I heard your last caller talking about transitory. Now we're talking about that with tariffs. Whether they're transitory or not, we'll see what happens. This is a key inflection point with the 10-year Treasury right now, right around that 420 level. If we break down below 4, we could see further downside in rates, but I think we're going to hold right around here. Regardless, though, for those that want to trade the Fed speak, pre and post Fed minutes, any economic data, including today's jobless claims that might influence interest rates. Our biggest fund is TMF in the fixed income space. That's a triple leverage bull on the TLT. And then we also have the bear triple leverage TMV. If somebody thinks rates are going up in the short term on the 20+ year treasury. If somebody wants to trade the shorter end of the curve, we also have the 7 to 10 year treasury bull and bear as well.
Okay, awesome stuff there. That gives us some targets. I'm a huge fan of the levered products. That's really those are really kind of the more fun ones to trade, if you ask me. Some individual issues here that I wanted to ask you about. You already hit one of them with China, which I think is fantastic. How about ETFs or flows for Mag 7 stocks, or I guess if you call them the Lag 7 stocks now, so be it. And then maybe also some volatility stuff.
Yeah, we've seen some good inflows with the majority of the Mag 7. We have leverage and inverse single stock ETFs. We've seen most of the flows in the 2X bull on these pullbacks in the Mag 7. So we have each of the individual Mag 7 stocks, 2X bull, a non-leveraged inverse bear. But we're seeing some major flows, particularly in Tesla, and NVIDIA, Microsoft as well. So TSLL, 2X bull on Tesla, Microsoft, MSFU, 2X bull as well, NVIDIA, NVDU, which is the 2X bull. So we're seeing a lot of interest in the Mag 7, mostly on the bull side in terms of the single stock. We also have, if somebody wants to trade an equal weight of the Mag 7, we have a 2X bull QQQU, and if somebody feels that the momentum's going to continue downward on the Mag 7, we have an inverse 1X QQQD on that. So you can trade the Mag 7 a la carte, or you can trade them collectively in an equal weight basket if somebody wants to trade that. It's interesting, all Mag 7 down year to date now. Meta was bucking that trend until the last couple of days, so it's relatively flattish year to date, down a little bit. So all of the Mag 7s down in varying degrees. Of course, Tesla is leading the way to the downside.
Absolutely. And Meta here right at its 200 days. So this is an inflection point. I don't think we're going to stay here for very long. We're either going to make a move positive or negative. Meta might be the one to keep your eye on there. Any volatility ETFs? And by the way, I'm glad you're here to remember all of these tickers because I can't possibly do that. I went ahead and threw a link here on the broadcast. If you want a list of all of Direxion's ETFs, go ahead and click on that right from the chat or just paste that into your browser. Ed, how about some volatility ETFs?
Well, we don't have anything tied to the VIX directly, so we don't have any of those type of products. But when you look at our broad lineup of ETFs, whether it's broad indices, sectors, industries, international indices as well, including single stock. We're one of the leaders in the leverage and inverse single stock space. It's a big franchise for us. We have 14 pairs that your traders could look at that go outside the Mag 7. We've gotten a lot of traction recently in Palantir, PLTU, which is the 2X bull, PLTD, which is the non-leveraged inverse bear. So we're seeing a lot of interest there, and I believe Micron has earnings tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how people play that, both from an individual stock standpoint as well as from how it affects the broader semiconductors as well.
Okay, awesome. Now, one of the recent things that's really kind of perked up, I guess more recently, has been crypto. Do you guys have any ETFs that are leveraged for crypto, whether it's individual crypto names like Coinbase or maybe one of the coins themselves?
Well, we don't have any of the coins specifically, but we do have a broad basket of stocks that you could trade in the crypto space. The likes of Coinbase and Robinhood, for example, and that is aptly named Lambo if you want to rev it up, LMBO. And if you want to trade the short side, we got REC for you, REKT. So I got to give marketing credit for that. Pretty creative symbols there. So there's a way to trade the basket of crypto-related stocks. We do not have anything in specifically tied to the coins themselves.
All right, hat tip to your marketing people for those tickers too. That's pretty awesome. LMBO, Lambo, and Rect for crypto, really good stuff. Okay, Ed, this is absolutely fantastic. With this being, you had commented on it kind of being March Madness. It's been March Madness in the markets, and March Madness kicks off today. I cannot possibly talk to you without asking you what your final four picks are. What do you got for us?
Well, I'm going to preface this: past performance isn't indicative of future results. And this is for entertainment purposes only. But with that said, I'm looking at my final four: Alabama, Texas Tech, Auburn, and Houston. So two Big 12 teams, two SEC teams. I like Houston winning it all, playing Auburn in the final there. So not much insight there. They're both #1 seeds. But I think it should be a good tournament. And the one thing that is certain, there will be uncertainty. Just like in the market, it will be in March as well.
That you are exactly right on that, Ed. That is awesome. Thanks so much. Look, I can't wait to have you back here. Okay, this is really good stuff. We look at a lot of these ETFs. We do it constantly. I'm personally of the belief that right now some of the easier trades in the market have to do with the ETFs, just due to the liquidity and the predictability and uncertainty of things. So cannot wait to have you back. All right.
Without a doubt. Thanks for having me. Check out our website, Direxion.com. Whole section dedicated to education. Know how these mechanisms of the leverage and inverse ETFs work before you ever trade them. So educate yourself first.